Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
I'm Gaynor.
I'm Sophie.
And today we're looking at another Lost in the Pond, how America makes Britain look like a tiny village. And it does, to be honest. It definitely does. What is it, 40 times bigger?
I'm not sure how much bigger it is, but to drive from the most northern part of England to the most southern part takes about 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
From England, in England.
And that's like, from north to south will be the furthest 2 points. Imagine you just wanted to do like east coast to west coast. That'll probably take you about 3.
3 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends where you are, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you're going from, say, like, I don't know, like...
Well, before you hit
Scarborough
Scotland,
to Liverpool, like...
But before you hit Scotland, that's the northeast area, isn't it? What's the last place you hit before you get into Scotland?
Carlisle, I think. Carlisle's definitely one of the most up north towns.
Yeah. And then you go right down to like Southampton.
Oh, what are you talking about, in England or the top of Scotland?
No, in England.
In England?
Before you get to Scotland.
In England, it's probably Carlisle. But then you can go all the way south down to like Cornwall, can't you?
Yeah, Cornwall's the furthest point.
Yeah. And that only probably takes a maximum 8 hours to drive it.
Yeah. Crazy.
So we are a teeny tiny little village.
We are very small. We're actually, in terms of square miles, we're the same size as Oregon. Oregon.
Ah.
I said that a bit weird, yeah. Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, just to put it into perspective.
Yeah.
And at 874 square miles is larger than not just London, but half of the English counties. Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to size. They say that size doesn't matter, but have they looked at a map recently? Because it does matter when you move from Britain to the United States of America. You see, somebody once said that the biggest difference between Britain and America is that Americans think that 100 years is a long time and that the British think that 100 miles is a long way. And I definitely used to think like this. For instance, I used to think that travelling from my hometown of Grimsby to the city of Manchester was a long way, even though it was only 100 miles. But after moving to the United States, where long-distance commutes and cross-country road trips are not that unusual, I soon realised that Americans viewed 100 miles as no biggie. And as somebody who now fairly frequently does the commute from Chicago to Indianapolis, I have fallen in line with my American comrades. But just in case you don't believe me, or in case you're one of those British people that...
I never knew he was from Grimsby, though.
No, I never knew he was from Grimsby.
We always wondered where he was from, didn't we? And
now every time we say, where is he from?
Yeah, because he was definitely up north, and he told us he was northern. Grimsby, bloody hell, I didn't realise he was Grimsby. I feel quite bad for him now.
No wonder he's moved.
No wonder he's, exactly, Grim. It's just in the name, isn't it?
Grim.
Yeah, exactly.
I often hear about that comes to the United States and expects to see New York City, Las Vegas, San Francisco, and the Grand Canyon all in one weekend, then allow me to present to you some maps. Some maps that highlight the scale of the United States in all its glory. Let's take a look. Firstly, let's take a look at the United States as a whole. If we include land and water, which we will be doing throughout this video, the United States has a total area of about 3.8 million square miles. In that respect, it could contain 40 not just Britons, but UKs. And for clarification, the UK is Britain plus Northern Ireland. The biggest country within the United Kingdom is my home country of England. And you've almost certainly heard that the United States has an entire region named after it. Let's have a look at how they compare. As the United States goes, New England is a relatively small area of land comprising 6 states: Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island.
See how many like little cities and towns are in there that are like also English.
Yeah.
Manchester, Dover, Rochester.
Yeah, Conway in Wales.
Rochester.
What? I said that, right?
Yeah. And then we've got
Bath.
Cambridge, Worcester.
But there's
Belfast, Ireland, Bangors.
Newport.
St Albans,
London.
Newport, yeah.
Pretty much
Newport's
all of them.
Welsh.
Yeah.
Surely there's probably Lincoln.
Yeah. There'll be loads that we've
Lancaster.
not heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably loads more on it.
Windsor.
Was it to say Belfast?
Windsor.
Is there one called Britain? Or am I making that up? We're at the bottom near Hartford, where it says Hartford, like a big one. Keep going down,
Bridgeport.
down. That way. Oh, New Britain it's called. This one. Oh, sorry. New Britain.
Oh yeah, I see what. Yeah, down south there. We got London
New
as
London.
well. Northampton, Worcester, Cambridge.
Yeah.
It's
Mad, isn't
pretty
it?
funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ireland. And despite the fact that 5 of those states feature in a list of the 7 smallest, the New England states combined are almost 22,000 square miles bigger than England. In fact, you could throw in Wales and Northern Ireland and New England would still come out on top. But even when you add in Scotland, there are certain other states that are bigger than the entire United Kingdom. Now, long ago I made a video on the 11 states that are larger than the UK. But this video was mostly the chief complaint about it was that I didn't show any maps, so you just had to imagine it. Well, to show that I've grown as a YouTuber, and to visually put these 11 states into a UK context, I've put together a graphic. Have you ever seen those videos that compare the size of the Earth to the size of the Sun, and then the Sun to the next biggest star, and the next biggest star to the next biggest star, and so on? Well, I thought it would be fun to do the same thing with the UK, and its 11 American overlords. So here are 11 US states with a total area, that's land and water, that's larger than the UK.
Michigan.
Oh, it's just a square.
Yeah. There you go. Oregon. Alaska's huge, isn't it?
Now, if this were a game of top trumps, the United States would be winning by a country mile. Sorry. So before we continue, I am going to throw in a fun fact that allows the UK a moment of glory. The most number of US states that you could collectively fit into the entire UK is 10. Now, admittedly, it is the smallest 10, and those are West Virginia, Maryland, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Hawaii, Connecticut, Delaware, and Rhode Island. But one thing that you might notice about all of those, with the exception of Hawaii, is that they are east of the Mississippi River. But once you go west, things become so big that your eyes fall off. And something that really seems to get bigger out west are counties. You may remember last year I did a video on the differences between British and American counties, and one of those differences was size. For context, I want you to keep in mind that the largest county in the UK is North Yorkshire. This clocks in at roughly 3,341 square miles. So it is itself more than half the size of Northern Ireland. Well, at this point in the video, it won't surprise you to hear that the United States has well over 100 counties larger than that, and the vast majority of them are out west. Now, if we allow for county equivalents like boroughs and census areas, Alaska has 2 county equivalents that are not just larger than North Yorkshire, but the entire United Kingdom. Alaska, you are massive and you need to be stopped. And you might say, well, Alaska's almost too massive, so this is just cheating. And it is true, Alaska is like the Galactus of American states. We should start calling it Galaska. But even if you drop down into the lower 48 contiguous states, there are some counties that are so big that they make certain countries look like quaint villages. Take, for example, the largest in the lower 48, San Bernardino County in California. At over 20,000 square miles, it's approximately 4 times the size of Northern Ireland and more than twice the size of Wales. And it's not alone. San Bernardino County is one of 10 counties with a square mile area of 5 digits. Now, in both Britain and America, within your average county, you'll probably find a city or two, and it'll be of no surprise to you whatsoever that America's largest cities are larger than the UK's largest cities.
The difference is, in the States, if you want to drive somewhere, there's not loads of traffic. You can just get on the road and just go.
Can you?
And you stop when you want to. Whereas here, if we want to go somewhere, it's just bumper to bumper traffic, and it takes us.
Because every half hour you're driving probably near a big city.
Yeah.
That
And
makes sense.
So for us to go 90 miles, when we go to Declan's, I think it's about 108 miles away from our house. It takes us about 2 hours, 2 hours 10.
I've done it before in like 1 hour 30, but that's
Yeah.
just me driving, I guess.
Going on normal speed.
No, I'm joking. It was like 1 hour 40.
Yeah. On average, it takes 2 hours to do 108 miles.
In the UK, the largest city by total area is comfortably London. In fact, at 671 square miles, it is the third largest in Europe.
That's
Now, it's
insane.
important to remember that that's before we take into account the wider metropolitan area. And indeed, before we do that, there are several cities in the United States that are considerably larger than 671 square miles. Surprisingly, none of these go by the name of New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles, though this changes somewhat when we do account for each city's metropolitan area. But again, before we do that, I've said do twice. The largest 4 places in America that you could reasonably define as a city are all located in Alaska. Anchorage, Juneau, Wrangell, and Sitka all measure well into the thousands of square miles. Now again, it's super Alaska, everything is huge. So instead, let's take a look at the opposite end of the country down in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida is surprisingly massive, owing partly to the fact that it consolidated with Duval County in 1968. Nonetheless, when you add up its water and land area, Jacksonville is the largest city in the lower 48. And at 874 square miles is larger than not just London, but half of the English counties. Now, if you take into account the metropolitan areas of both Jacksonville and London, Jacksonville marginally comes out on top. And that's despite the fact, yes, I changed my shirt, and that's despite the fact that Jacksonville is significantly down the pecking order when it comes to America's largest metropolitan areas. In terms of square mileage, there are dozens across the country that outmatch it, but none more so than the San Bernardino metropolitan area, otherwise known as the Inland Empire. The Riverside San Bernardino, Ontario metropolitan area covers more than 27,000 square miles, almost the total area of Scotland. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below some of the experiences you've had in the United States that have really highlighted its enormity. Be sure to share this video with your friends and family so that it travels far and wide. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePondUS.
It's mad, isn't
It
it?
proper makes us look like a tiny village, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like a little like dot.
All inbreds.
What? Sorry? Human?
Well, the amount of people that live here, it's got to be a few cousins that don't know about each other.
Oh yeah, they're all in Liverpool. No, I'm only joking. But yeah, I think that like how you can compare states to like our country. It's
Yeah.
11 states bigger than
Doesn't
our
compare,
country.
does
It's
it?
just a bit
No,
mad.
I
isn't it?
don't think most Americans know just how populated we are and how tiny we are compared
Oh,
to.
crap.
But
Yeah.
we've got someone living almost in every like
Square meter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't find like a 10-mile radius where there's no one.
No.
No.
But you would find that in America very easily. You could
Yeah.
probably find that even bigger. Like
I'd love that though, just like get in my car and just go for a drive. Like I
and
love
it's just
that.
and you're just surrounded by nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love that. Yeah, but here you can't do that.
I'd like to have a place where you go like weekends
Yeah.
that there's nobody around, but I don't think I could live permanently somewhere there was nobody around.
No, it would probably scare me after a while.
I'd go
I just
straight
get bored.
crazy. I like talking to people.
And if you
Yeah.
want, it's just effort. If you want to go get something from the shop or something like that, something easy.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
if you want to order some food and there's nowhere delivering to your location, that's just when it gets quite annoying. But
Yeah, that's how you
Try
like
living in Earlham, that's what it's like living there.
oh really?
You don't get like Uber Eats or like, I think they recently did like Deliveroo or something.
Is
but
there not like a McDonald's in?
No,
Is there not?
no. There's just the shop, that just the Subway below me, that's it.
It's mad,
That's
isn't
all
it?
you've got.
And that's
in
how
Earlham.
far away? 3 miles? 4
Yeah,
miles?
about 4 or 5 miles, not
Yeah,
not
not
that
far.
far.
Just
Yeah.
shows how small
Yeah,
we are,
little
really are.
communities.
Oh, exactly. And we're like almost on the east side of Manchester.
We're 8
which
miles
is
from here, and we've got about 2,500 restaurants on Deliveroo.
In Altrincham.
because we
Oh,
get the
where
whole
we
of town.
are.
We get the whole
Oh,
of
yeah,
Manchester
yeah.
city centre.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm jealous.
I know. So
We're quite lucky for that.
we are very lucky.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.